It's February, which means lacrosse season is upon us. Joining us, the head coach of the Cavaliers, Meghan Dennehy. Coach, coming off a 7-3 season last year in the South Atlantic Conference, your team advanced to the SAC tournament semifinals, and we'll start with there. I really felt like last season was a good building block for your program in the SAC, and you return 3 first-team preseason all-conference players.
Yeah, no, we're excited with how we finished last year and excited to see what we can do this year. I think that it shows that we did well just based off of our preseason ranking being number 4 overall. So we plan to finish there or higher.
Coach, you've got a new assistant coach. I know we released that back over the fall, but let the folks know who's on your staff now and how you guys are acclimating and how Rylan is adjusting to the team and how things are going there.
Yeah, Coach Lou has been a great addition to the staff. He just has this innate ability. I don't even know if it's that or just time. He is really, really good at what he does. So he's definitely been able to tweak some things here and there, really give the individual attention to the players on the field. He loves that. So I think the players have really enjoyed having him on staff just to kind of help with their overall growth. And we're seeing that every day.
You touched on a little bit, your team's picked 4th in the preseason SAC poll. Give us your thoughts on that and kind of the South Atlantic Conference, how it shapes up here looking at the start of the year.
I think it's right where we should be. Our conference is strong, and Wingate and Limestone and Queens all beat us last year, so that makes sense. But we're gonna hopefully go out there this year and surprise some people. I definitely think even though we might have a small roster, we have a very athletic and talented team, and so we're excited to see what we can do against those 3 teams that beat us last year.
Well, you will start with your roster here. 2 preseason first-team all-conference attackers, and Katie Allen and Sydney Trask, and then defender Aaron Smith, who decided to come back now for another season due to the COVID year. Speak on those 3 women and what they bring to the table for your team.
Yeah, I think that on the offensive side, the 2, Katie and Sid, they're just very versatile players. They're very good off ball, on ball. They drive hard. They finish their shots hard. They really get the offense going, and a lot of the other players have really stepped up their game and are kind of up to par with them, which is great. It's going to make our offense a very talented bunch, and I feel like it's one of those things where we're not even sure who our starting lineup is going into this game. So that's exciting that we have kind of the personnel that we're going to have more than I guess the allotted amount on the field to start. And then down on our defensive end, they're playing really well. I mean, Aaron Smith, we're definitely thrilled to have her back. Her tenacity, grit on the field is contagious, and everyone eats that up, and that really helps lead the rest of the defense. But we've got some other talented players that I think got overlooked too. So I want to give a shout out to Cam Darrington and Paige as well. Like we're fighters, and I think that the entire defensive unit is really strong. We've moved a midi down to that side to kind of add to some of our athleticism. So we've got Ashley Shannon down there, we've got Tamaya down there, and so we're doing great things on our defensive end. And Jordan right now is playing phenomenal. So we're excited to see what she's doing in the cage as well.
Coach, I'm sure I will miss some, so I'm going to turn this over to you. There are a plethora of rule changes this season.
Yeah.
Speak on that a little bit, and specifically, I guess, going to 4 quarters, how maybe that impacts you and your team and maybe your coaching philosophy, if any.
Yeah, I think that I will touch back on, just want to give some shout outs to our midfield and the speed that we have out there. And I think that that's going to really, really help us. And that kind of leads into the first rule change, which is our draw controls. And so if to speed it up, if a draw does not go high enough, it's not a reset like they usually did. It's just alternate possession. So I definitely think that that is going to speed some stuff up. Our middies are going to be able to handle that really well and be able to take off and hopefully, push that fast break and get stuff settled down on the offensive side when needed. The 4 quarters give us an extra timeout, I guess. And it's gonna be, I guess, a little bit of an adjustment. I don't think it's a huge adjustment, but it's going to be nice to just kind of tell them that they have to play 15 minutes and then we kind of get a short regroup and then we go back out there. So it'll be nice to kind of have that break up in the middle of halftime to where we don't have to take maybe necessarily a timeout then. shot clock. Again, I think a lot of the rules are there to keep the pace of the game going. And I think it's a little driven on trying to get more women's lacrosse games on TV. So the other rule change is if the goalie makes a save and it comes back out and offense maintains possession, or if it hits the goal, then instead of it going back to a 90-second shot clock, it's going back to a 60 if it was under 60. So again, just some slight changes to speed it up. Those are the big ones that have come out this year for this season.
Coach, talk about your non-conference schedule. Obviously, we know the SAC is very tough. You always like to try to take a trip with your team. This year, you're going down to Florida. I guess that really highlights your non-conference slate.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that, like you said, the South Atlantic Conference is strong. But overall, I think our strength of schedule is super strong. I mean, we are playing some strong schools, and Rollins is that first game that we're going to play down in Florida. They probably just missed the NCAA bid last year. So that's going to be a good game and a good test for us leading into, our conference play. Because I think it's Mars Hill, and we might have a few games before an LMU before we go down to Florida. But again, just a great test. I love playing Rollins. They're a fun and competitive group. Then we head to Flagler, and they're a brand new program, but they've also got tons of transfers. They have 40 plus on their roster. And so, they're not going to be a team that is a typical first year. I think, down in St. Augustine, it was pretty easy to recruit. And so they're not going to be as easy as one might expect. So we're excited to kind of go down there and have some fun in Florida and play some competitive teams.
Coach, if you and I are speaking first, second week of May and your team's had a successful season, what will have went right for the UVA-wise women's lacrosse team?
I mean, I always say, yeah, sure, winning's important, but I want them just to have a good time. I want them to be able to look back and say that they grew, that, that they were able to perform to their highest expectation on the field. And if all those things go right, and they're going out there and really playing like the lacrosse that they know how, executing, we're going to have a successful season. What that looks like, I mean, I would say I would love to be in the top 25. I think that we've had a really good program here for many years and haven't gotten the love when it comes to the polls. So I would love to kind of get some recognition in that area. I would also like to beat one of the top three that we lost to last year. I think that that's a pretty good stepping stone. Anything beyond that would be wonderful. And sure, I'd love to compete for a conference championship. But at the end of the day, I just want the players to have fun. I want them to grow. I want them to be able to be content with how they played. And that's a win in my eyes.
The 2022 season begins at home against Lees McRae, 6 p.m. first draw Tuesday. If you can't make it out to Smith Stadium, you can always watch it live on UVAWiseCavs.com. Coach, thank you for your time. I'm sure we'll catch up several more times throughout the season, and good luck this year.
Absolutely. Thank you.